Well, bakers, sometimes we don't have any heavy cream to hand when we're doing our baking. Well, I'm about to rock your world with this crazy recipe on how you can make whipped cream from whole fat milk and unsalted butter. It is crazy and it really is just as good as the real thing. So in this bowl, I have some whole fat milk. Into it, I'm going to add in unsalted butter. Now, I specify unsalted because we did try this with salted butter and we ended up with salty cream. So unsalted butter is a must. Now, you can do this next step in a saucepan or you can do it in the microwave like I'm going to do because it's easier. And all we're going to do is just melt the butter. So for the step, all we're trying to do is just heat up the butter and the milk and get the butter to melt. We don't want this mixture to boil, so just be careful that doesn't happen. Now, here's the thing about this recipe. You do need a high-speed blender, so a Vitamix, a NutriBullet, like something that's got a really good engine, because the next step is to emulsify. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pour our liquid into the machine. It is hot, but that's okay. And we are going to blend. So now we're going to want this to blend to around 3 to 4 minutes or so. What we're trying to do now is, we're not trying to get it thick or anything like that, we're trying to get it to emulsify. We're trying to get those fats to stick together and stay together. And you want to do this on high speed, so on this blender it's number 10. So this mixture does have to be emulsified while it's hot, and not all blenders can take hot liquids. Just make sure whatever you're using, food processor or blender, is able for that. It is handy that I have this little cap that I can let out the steam and there's not building up pressure in there. So you might be thinking to yourself while you're watching this, like, why don't I just buy myself a carton of cream? Sometimes you don't have cream. Sometimes in some countries, cream is hard to come by. So this is a fantastic way to make your own heavy cream. The best thing about it is you can use it as heavy cream or it can even be whipped. And I'm going to show you that in a few minutes. Okay, so that was a full 4 minutes. Here I have my bowl. We're going to pour it back into here. So as you're looking at this, you can see that the butter is not separated from the milk, that it's just looks like cream, which is crazy. And this is why we need a high power blender. And this is why we need to do it for so long. This also may work if you use an immersion blender. Just be careful of splatter and stuff like that. Look at that, beautiful. So now, just like kind of any mixture, we're just going to let this cool down here until it comes to room temperature. And every so often, I'm just going to go in and stir it. What I'm doing is stopping a skin from forming, and I want to make sure that it stays emulsified. This will take a few minutes. So our mixture has come to room temperature. So now, just like if you were making creme patisserie or something like that, we are going to put some cling wrap directly over the surface. And again, to stop it forming a skin, like so. Put it nice and snug in there. And then we are going to pop this into the fridge, because once it's very cold, then we can whip it up. So you just want to leave it in there for a few hours until it gets really lovely and cold. And you can also make it the day before and leave it overnight. So our mixture is really lovely and cold. Now let me show you, just like if you opened a carton of heavy cream. It's nice and thick, rich, creamy. It's really hard to believe. Like, I'm kind of always amazed when I see this, like, wow, that's incredible. But wait, it's not my last trick. I'm going to show you how you can take this and then whip it, so you can get whipped cream. So you can use the liquid cream for any, way you would use, any type of like liquid cream, like for making pasta dishes, making sauces, in, casseroles or soups or something like that. But then as bakers, we love whipped cream. We love to have it in our recipes. We love to serve it on top of our desserts. So you can very easily, with an electric hand mixer, whip this up until it's really lovely and thick. Now, the reason we can do that is because milk alone doesn't have that high fat content. We added a whole pile of fat and raised that fat content. That's why you're able to whip this lovely and thick. And there you have it, just like it was poured from a carton, beautifully billowy, soft. If you want, you can add vanilla to this, you can add a little bit of sugar. I love my cream as is, so it complements what it goes on. I love to serve this on top of fruit, or you can put it beside a pie, or even on top of an ice cream sundae. Use this wherever you would normally use whipped cream. Just like real whipped cream, this is light, fluffy, and airy. This is not a whipped cream substitute. This is homemade whipped cream using milk and butter. There's a lot of videos out there online claiming to be something that they're not, but let me tell you, this homemade whipped cream is the real deal. Try it and let me know what you think. Thanks so much for watching. And if you'd like more bowl baking basics just like this one, then stick around. I've got hours more content for you to check out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you back here again really soon.